Welcome to our video about 10 different kitchen designs. The idea of this video is to show you a whole range of awesome kitchen designs that you can put in a van to give you ideas to find the perfect kitchen that suits your needs. As always with a van, it's great because you can make it perfect for you. So I built my kitchen as all in one unit. I'm not maybe like the most obsessed person with cooking really fancy crazy dishes, so I didn't have a huge amount of workspace, which is maybe sometimes a little bit awkward at times, but overall it does fine. This is a SMEV unit, 2-burner, good sink, electric tap, and everything from my kitchen and water is built into this single cabinet. So inside the cabinet, apart from some dog food, we have fresh water 20 litres, wastewater 20 litres, and LPG tank, and there's drop vent for the gas, so if there was for some reason a leak inside this unit, then the gas has somewhere to go. On the left hand side we have drawers. I made these drawers specific to exactly fit this unit. This unit overhangs a step a little bit, and that means I maximise my space in the end of the van. So they're these drawers, and they basically have runners. They're just made of like plywood. The front is actually the same material as my floor in the van. I had some left over, and these handles were from IKEA. The top of this is made of, I had some like reclaimed mahogany, so I wouldn't suggest anyone goes and cuts down the rainforest to make mahogany, but this was probably about 30 or 40 years old already, and I glued two pieces together, screwed it up from the underside, glued it, and then I basically sanded it down and cut the hole out for the SMEV worktop, and it works pretty well. I treated it with Danish oil, which is food safe firstly, but over time, you know, it's a work surface. It does kind of start to wear out the oil, so every probably 6 months I'll put a little bit more Danish oil, keep it with me, and let it dry for a couple of days. Ideally when I'm going away, I'll just do the Danish oil and I'll come back and it'll be basically perfect. Above the kitchen we have the spice rack, and the spice rack is the only shelf in my entire van which will hold things while you drive, so it just means there's no clutter. You can't have clutter in my van. So for food storage, I have these 3 big trays, and they go all the way back, and I don't have a fridge, and that's for 2 reasons. One is I travel for rock climbing, and generally for rock climbing we're going to like cooler temperatures. If it's summer temps, it's too hot to climb, so always not so bad. And at the bottom of the van just always stays cooler, so I can get away with it. And on top of that, I basically almost never eat meat, and milk is always UHT or some of these soja milk bullshit. So basically I don't need a fridge. I haven't needed a fridge in the 3 years I've been traveling and living in my van, so that's been fine. And these food trays give generally ample storage for 2 people for about a week.
I think this kitchen design is really good. It's super compact, but if I would need to make another van, it would have at least twice as much space as it has now, because sometimes preparing for cooking only in this area is quite difficult. So you need to put plate here and on the bed, and then Tiger is trying to steal some mango, so it's really hard. It would be awesome to have an oven, though I'm not sure if this is a need, because you can prepare a lot of good dishes on 2 burners. So oven is not needed, but it would be a nice to have thing.
So what she's saying is she likes this kitchen, but if she made it, she'd make it completely different.
Yes.
The kitchen area, I started off with the standard sink and hob. I also went for having a gas oven as well. The kitchen area has a fridge. At the moment it opens out this way because it's just been replaced, but the door can be interchangeable on either sides. I had it elevated slightly because sometimes I'm quite a light sleeper and you can hear the compressor going, so I thought if I just elevated it and put it on rubber strips, then it wouldn't vibrate around. There are lots of drawer storage space. This one is a little bit quirky because it has to fit underneath the basin, but even then I cut out every piece so that you could make the most of every single bit of the drawer. And some really deep drawers here as well, which again go right out to the full width of the van.
So this is the kitchen area. Within all of these are the top cupboards. You've got your kettle, your coffee percolator, your saucepans, your chopping boards, all of those bits and bobs, all your crockery that you could ever need for. This is the hob, 2 hobs and a grill. The outside of this, the surround, is actually the cutout from the window. So we've tried to reuse as many things as possible. So these are the cupboards underneath the hob and the sink. And underneath here, we've got, this is the area in which you turn on the gas for the hob and also for the heater. I'll let John explain that in a bit. Underneath here as well, you've got 2 tanks with 25 litres of fresh water and then 25 litres of waste. Up here, we have a piece of birch pallet wood, and then these are all of our herbs and spices. So here we have the fridge. This works off the leisure battery, but also from the solar panel as well.
Basically, the kitchen it's a 1,000 base unit kitchen. Everything you can buy from local DIY merchants. I actually got my worktops online because they were cheaper. The base unit is from B&Q. It's a B&Q 1,000 base unit. It's a standard size. The hob I got online for like £50–60. It's actually for use in a house. And then on the other side, I've got like more kind of kitchen prep area with a sink. I did think originally when I fit the sink, I was like, maybe it's a bit too small, but as it turns out, I think it's perfect. I save on water. I don't go through as much water, and I only kind of need to wash 1 plate at a time. And then yeah, standard, this is actually a bathroom tap. Costs about £20. It's linked up to a switch, which is linked to a little pump, which is sat in a 25-litre drum of water, which is underneath. I have a cold feed, which goes obviously into the sink, and then I have a dirty feed, which goes into another like jerry can underneath. Under here, I have storage for plates and all cutlery. So yeah, this was taken just from a friend's dishwasher. He was getting rid of the dishwasher. I looked online to buy one. These retailed at £100 just for the basket, so it made no sense to buy one new, and it's second hand, and it works really well. I was always worried about driving and plates smashing, and kind of thought, dishwasher drawer would work perfect, and so far it's come out quite well. No broken plates yet. I have a 13kg LPG gas bottle. It's basically it's actually a Spanish gas bottle, because we're now currently in Spain. I have a gas regulator that I bought from just a DIY shop in Spain, and it's rigged up to a hose, and then it goes to the cooker. There's an on-off, so when I'm driving I turn it off. When I go to sleep, actually, I also turn it off. But yeah, it's straightforward. It's really simple. If I run out of gas, I go to the nearest gas station, petrol station, and I change the gas bottle, and it's really cheap, so it works really well actually. I wanted to put some tiles on because I was worried about the flame at the back. I didn't want to bring the wood all the way down, just fire risk. So I decided to take some tiles, and I've mounted them. Usually use a tile adhesive, but I know from experience within the building trade that this tends to go hard, and it can get quite brittle over time, and I worried with the van moving that they would eventually come off. So I actually mounted the tiles with silicone, and I got a flexible tile grout, and they're still on, and yeah, they work really well. It's easy to wipe down. Under my bed I have a 50-litre Outwell fridge. It comes out on a drawer, and yeah, it's ideal for food, beers, veggies, meat, whatever I choose at the time. The reason why I chose a top loader was because they're more efficient, and to be honest, if I turn it off at night, in the morning the temperature hasn't dropped at all, and it uses very little power. It actually has a freeze setting on it, so I can take it down to, I think it's like -10 or something like that, so I can have ice cream, or if it's really hot, yeah, so it's kind of ideal, and it just kind of folds away under the bed, sorry. Close the doors. I used Nate's ebook for help with the van. It was a really good go-to guide.
I used it a lot for pricing, just to make sure that I was I wasn't going over budget on things, especially stuff like the solar charge controller and things that I wasn't so sure about. And then it was always a great guy to go to if it was just for the electronics or the insulation. It was just handy to have.
At the back I've got my kitchen area, gas cooker. I really like this hob. It's one of the smallest ones I could find when I was shopping for one. It doesn't have a toaster section, which a lot of them do, and it's got a lid at the back. But I have my cooker, and then next to it I have a chopping board, which is brilliant because I can just chop, get everything cooking. And it's we built it with these really strong runners, so it's like super durable. It's great. These flaps are detachable, which is really useful because it means I've got another place to put stuff when I'm cooking, because I tend to kind of cook quite elaborately and have loads of things going on, so they're really useful for that as well. Their second purpose is if it's a bit windy, I can use them just to slot in here and shield the cooker from the wind. So I made a little sort of cutlery tidy, so all of my utensils are easy to access. I have a 20-litre water container, which is plenty, and it's easy to carry, so I can fill it up wherever I am.
The sink we sourced from Turkey, and I just really loved it because it's iodised copper, which then ties in with the copper taps. And then all the upholstery, we've got the world map. And the reason we chose that is obviously the travel link, that we're hoping to travel in all the different places within the fabric. And these are our water tanks. So we have our waste and our clean water, and that's our water heater. I think the kitchen is like the heart of the van, and I didn't want it to be. I didn't want it to be a typical camping kitchen. I wanted it to feel like we're at home, or almost in a log cabin, I think was what we were going for, and I can cook proper meals on here. And we've got a gas cylinder down here, and then this is where we keep all our pots and pans and anything we need. I put this here for all our knives and utensils, just the ease of cooking, like everything's here, like all my food's here, my herbs, my crockery, like all the food we keep up there.
So up here we've got a cupboard with all the kitchen bits and pieces, plates, cups, coffee, tea, sugar, all of that. I didn't want to bother with a water pump, so I've got a gravity-fed system. Just turn it on, water comes out. Nice and simple, and then when you want to refill, you can just take the spout off, lift the container out and refill it from a tap. That's the water. Fridge down here, really nice big 85-litre compressor fridge. Just turn it on, it works, and just does the job really. I used to have a 3-way fridge, but it was just a pain getting it ready. You know, it's always sort of, you'd have to have the van level, and yeah, it was much easier.
Okay, so I bought the stove again from Walmart. I think it was $30. Had to modify this pipe a little bit because it came out at this really weird angle, so I just unscrewed that, just put it in a vise, hit it with some like a block of wood and a hammer, just bend that round, and the pipe goes under here, and I've got my propane tank here. And then to access that, you can take this out, and then this comes out as well. So you can get access to your gas bottle. Yeah. You can unscrew that, and that rolls out through this hole here if you need to change it.
Yeah, nice.
So my gas bottle, I think it's lasted about 6 months, and I've like used it every day, like morning and night. So I think it's $20 to refill. It's pretty cheap. This kind of area, I think I built out this is like cherry. I thought it looked quite nice. Have like a border to my kind of cabinets, and then there's like just standard plywood either side. So to get these to the right shape, I got some cardboard and I like just made some templates, so I got the curve at the back right. Same with these pieces here, because the van, like there's no straight edges basically, so it's a bit of a pain to do it. So get a bit of cardboard, cut it out, see if it fits, cut a bit more off, stick a bit back on, just chill. Tap I just got at my friend's house, he just had one left over, so that was pretty handy. I've just got a pipe, kind of runs down, I don't know if you can see, goes down here. My tank is actually in the back, under the cupboard. I'll show you that later. Sink's just a bowl from Walmart, $3. There's no drain. You want rid of it, the water, just chuck it out. Easy peasy, $3. Boom. Bargain. Yeah, under my sink, so just got a washing up bowl as well, just all my washing up shite. Pans, cutlery drawer. So what I've done with these, see on the back here, this is just a little clip. It's like a sprung loaded rollers at the back there. So that like stops them coming out around corners, so it's quite hard to pull it out, just that last little bit. Same on the bottom. Paper towel holder. I've run out of paper towel, so I can't show you that in action. Cupboards here, just random stuff. Electronics in here. These are like sprung load as well, so nothing falls out when you're driving along. These are just little battery powered lights. I don't have any leisure battery or anything like that in here. It's just a car battery. These are the only things that run off the battery, so, and the water pump. So there's not really any need for it. I don't have any solar, any of that. I kind of feel like to get a solar kit, it was probably going to be another $1,000 or something, and I couldn't really see the point of it. And it's like a lot more stealthy. I can park in the middle of cities and nobody even knows there's anyone in it, so that's pretty handy. So I was a little bit worried about the having the gas in here and having a burner and all that, so I kind of wanted a gas detector and carbon monoxide detector. I got this guy, and it says like do not install within 15 feet of your cooker, but obviously I'm not going to put it outside the van, so anyway, it's here and it doesn't go off, so I think I'm safe. Haven't died yet.
So that's our dishwashing place with our really nice water system. So here inside we have a small water tank and a small dirty water tank.
On the left side is like the little dirty water tank. To the right there's the big, like a drinking water tank. For that you can remove this board to get it out or to get it in. For the water pump we discuss a lot of times together what we can do, what we can take, what we can use, and we decided to get like independent from the electricity, because sometimes you have like a very less battery, and so you cannot like use the water inside. So that material we use like for every furniture here is like a multiplex, and it's 12 millimeters strong. For the fronts and the doors, it's 9 millimeter because of the weight. Big advantage is of this material, it's very stable, and if you varnish it, it stays like very straight. Like for the doors, we use the hinges. To close the doors, we use the magnets, and they are quite strong. They are little but quite strong. When you drive, you don't hear or feel there's something like moving or shaking. So it's a quite easy, but also a quite cheap. That's our fridge. It's like a hybrid fridge with like two kind of cooling systems. One cooling system is running by 220 volt, and it's like a compressor system. The other system is like an electronic cooling system. It's running by 12 volt. So if you get like 220 volt for the car on the camping place, you can use it like as a real good fridge, and it cools down like in the minus grades, and you can make like ice in it. With 12 volt you can like use it like as a normal cooling box, but it's definitely enough. So, and we put it like that because we have to move it anyway because of our kitchen construction. The runners here, you have it on the both sides, and here these things we install because it can be coming out really fast because of the weight. So we install the little things to fix it on the ground.
This is my sink. This is a combined sink and hob unit. You go hob here and sink here. It's a SMEV 9277, I think. There is like a really annoying hole for a tap that I don't use. I don't have a tap. I do have a gravity sink, as some people like to call it. So basically, this is my water tank that slides out. So let's put this away as well. That slides out over the sink, and then boom. In this drawer there is a cool box that doesn't work anymore because it fell out and broke, but never mind. So I wanted, and that's basically it. And then here is a little bit of space, but then this is my dirty water in there. And then in the corner here is, I'm not sure you can see it at all, but that's my gas tank in there. It's a Gaslow 11 kilo tank. Kitchen tabletop is free scaffolding board I got from a local company. This is Camp Scaff, so a bit of nice local history. I had to glue about 2.5 of them together to get the full length of it, and then I've stained it God knows how many times and varnished it on top of that.
But this kitchen is fantastic if you just want to make wraps and simple foods, and I can live very happily alone with it.
Simple foods, eggs, wraps and black tea with milk.